G'day my suckies, it's JessieQ7 here, bringing it back with you with another video. Hope you're having an awesome day so far, and gonna go do the one thing that you've always wanted to do, but never wanted to really invest enough time into it. I hope you decide to do that today, and enjoy it, cause it's the first time trying it, and trying something new is always fun. So today I'm going to talk about my experiences with DSs, those little double screen devices that came from the Game and Watch idea, and then just moved on. So from the Donkey Kong time all the way to we stick cartridges and play in whatever game we can play. So as I mentioned in one of my other videos, I had a real big gaming addiction, like massive, where I wanted just to collect every console. One of the major consoles that I played was the DS because that was one of my first own purchased one, like one I saved up for ages. And now the DS I consider one of the most groundbreaking gaming consoles around, like at the time. I think it came out in around about 2005-ish, maybe in like 2004 in Japan. So the DS is always amazing. Like it was something that had been seen, but this is a different level. Like it was an improvement upon the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance. So it was portable gaming at its finest, where it could do Game Boy Advance games and DS games, which was awesome. Boasting a few features like the double screens, the touch screen, which no one had really seen a touchscreen at the time, and personally, I think touchscreen is amazing. Like, who doesn't like their touchscreen devices these days? We've got tablets, phones, like everything. It's great. You can just tap what you want instead of using some weird mouse thing. With touchscreen, we had a lot of new features we could do. We could have an easy keyboard that could appear on the screen, and we could draw like little squiggles and stuff. So a lot of games came from that, and they were all great. The biggest one that I think everyone remembers in the back in the day when a lot of DSs were around was PictoChat. It's such a simple yet great thing. You could just shoot out little messages, little drawings, squiggles to anyone in the local area who decided to open up PictoChat on their DSs. And I remember opening it up randomly and seeing people in these rooms and being like, I have no idea who these are. And just squiggling messages saying hey, and then catching up as kids and being just having a fun time playing afterwards. The same thing also applied with DS Download Play. Now, DS Download Play was when one person had a game, and that one lucky person in that game could shoot out all of their download multiplayer content to anyone who was nearby with a DS Lite or a DS. I'm pretty sure the DS had it. This was awesome because especially on bus trips, I remember just being able to jump on this and send out my game and just have 8 people playing max at a time. That's amazing. Like everyone was having a grand old time. This is usually done with Mario Kart and Bomberman, just simple games. I remember even playing Worms with everyone. So these were some classic games, and everyone always had a great time with them. Now, the biggest issue about having an obsession with games and stuff is I got exceedingly good at these games, and because I was always playing them with people, I could just cream everyone, and I was just not having a fun time with that. Luckily for me, I had a group of friends who was also kind of obsessed with DSs, and we were able to play with them, and that all happened generally in the holidays, because I went to a thing called vacation care in Australia. I don't know if you guys have vacation care. It's not like summer camp or anything like that. But vacation care was a grand old time because the one we went, there was about 20 max 20 people. It was a local vacation care, and everyone there were able to bring their DSs along and play. Now, with this mentality, I had a massive shift in how I play games. I realized that playing games on your own, just playing them by yourself, it's fun, but it's not as fun if everyone else is joining in and everyone else has the same game. And I got into racing people to finish a game first, because in vacation care, you were there from 8 or 9 o'clock till 6 o'clock in the afternoon sometimes. Look, that's a long day. You have a lot of opportunity to do stuff. So we played a lot of games. I remember versing people in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl just to see if we could like beat it before the other person and like how fast we could go. And then at the end of that, we'd all connect up and we'd battle each other in probably double battles or single battles. And I wasn't very good on those battles generally. I got squished most of the time, but I still won occasionally with a lot of my mates. But it was heck as fun, just trying to beat your other friend in getting there first. I reckon my favorite games playing with all my mates would have to be Pokemon and a bit of Mario Party, Bomberman, Legend of Zelda, both Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. However, as I mentioned before, all of these games were skill based, and if you hadn't played them very often, you'd most likely lose. Uh, the biggest downside to having DS games is I don't think enough social games were around. Enough games that you could just fly around, just do anything, like just mess about with your mates. Like that's honestly one of my favorite kind of games. Gary's mod does this very well. You can choose what you do, for instance. The one game that was always fun for that was Animal Crossing, but Animal Crossing does get real boring real quick after you've collected everything, of course. What more is there in the game if you've done everything, you know? I do remember playing for hours with my sisters, though, building up our houses and making orchards of the exotic fruits that weren't from your place. Because let's face it, the fruits in your Animal Crossing at your own town are pretty much useless because they sell for way cheaper than the exotic fruits. Overall, I do think the best game for multiplayer would have to be Dragon Quest IX. This game was mint. It was awesome. You have like taunts, it was open world, and you could do the storyline with your friend. Now that's pretty rare in the day. Like obviously they had limitations for all these consoles. We're back in 2005, remember? They were busy trying to use the hardware that they had. So everyone was limited from 2005 technology onward. I think one of the most unfortunate things about playing video games, though, is that when you start playing them, you can remember the game, but you can't really remember the great times you had with your friends. So that's why I always think it's kind of important to make good memories away from video games as well. So if you've got a bunch of mates over, make sure you do a variety of things and don't be glued to your games. Like, obviously, we weren't able to play games the entire time, but I think it was important that we did play them because we bonded over some fun times. Just playing Mario Party and all these other games. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there for today. I hope you guys will enjoy your day and do that crazy thing that you always wanted to do but just never did. Uh, have a fantabulous day, and I'll catch you in the next one, my suckies.